I thought it was just a toy. I did not know it would reopen wounds. I spent years hiding. Before I begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever waited your whole life for your parents to finally see you? If you have ever felt invisible inside your own family, please take a moment to like this story, subscribe, and stay with me until the end, because this is not just about a gift, it is about quiet pain, and the kind of revenge that never raises its voice. My name is Clara. I am a mother, I am a daughter, and for most of my life I was the one who stayed quiet. I learned early that silence keeps peace, that being easy makes people comfortable, that asking for too much love only brings disappointment. So I learned how to smile, even when something inside me felt small, setting the scene. My son's elementary school graduation was on a warm afternoon in June, the kind of day where the air feels soft, and everything smells like fresh grass and sunscreen. The school gym was filled with folding chairs. Parents fanned themselves with programs. Children sat cross-legged, whispering and giggling. My son sat in the second row. His feet did not reach the floor. He kept swinging them back and forth, every time he looked at me. His eyes searched for my face, and I was right there, smiling, proud. He had worked so hard, learning to read, learning to be patient, learning how to raise his hand instead of shouting. He was not the loudest child. He was gentle, thoughtful, just like I was when his name was called. He walked across the stage carefully, holding his paper with both hands. I felt something tighten in my chest, that feeling mothers get when love has nowhere to go. I clapped until my palms stung. My parents were there. My parents sat 3 rows behind me. They arrived late. They always arrived late. My mother wore her usual polite smile. My father nodded instead of clapping. They waved at my son when he turned around. He waved back, proud they came. I told myself, this is nice. This is progress. I wanted to believe that. After the ceremony, families gathered outside, children hugged balloons, parents took photos near the school sign. My parents walked toward us slowly. My mother held a gift bag, bright red, tissue paper sticking out. "Congratulations," she said to my son. Her voice was cheerful, practiced. He took the bag with both hands. "What is it?" he asked, eyes wide. "A surprise," my father said, "a Lego set." My son pulled out the box, a Lego set, not a small one, not a simple one. It was big, advanced, marked for ages well above his. At first his face lit up like a sunrise. "Wow," he whispered. I smiled too, because how could I not, the shift? But then something changed. His smile slowed. His eyebrows pulled together. He turned the box over, read the words on the back. He looked up at me. "Mom," he said softly, "this is for kids older than me." The air shifted, just slightly. My mother laughed. "Oh, you'll grow into it," she said, the quiet comparison. Then she added, "Your cousin built one like this at your age." There it was, soft, casual, sharp. The comparison slipped into the air like smoke. My son's shoulders dropped. "Oh," he said. I felt it before I thought it. I felt something familiar rise in my chest, not anger, not shock, recognition. This was the feeling I knew too well, the feeling of not being enough, of being measured against someone else. I swallowed it down. "We thanked them." "Thank you," I said. I meant it in the way daughters are taught to mean things, polite, contained. My son hugged them. He hugged everyone. He was raised that way. On the way home. The drive home was quiet. The Lego box sat in the back seat, unopened. My son stared out the window. "Mom?" he asked. "Yes, sweetheart? Did I do good today?" The question landed heavy. "Yes," I said. Quickly, "You did amazing." He nodded, but he did not smile. Memory awakens. That night, after he went to bed, I sat at the kitchen table. The house was quiet. The kind of quiet that feels loud. The Lego box sat on the counter. And suddenly, I was not an adult anymore. I was 8 years old again. I remembered my own graduation, not elementary, high school. My parents came. They sat in the back then too. They gave me a pen, a practical one. They gave my brother a watch when he graduated. I told myself it did not matter. I told myself a pen was useful. I told myself many things, patterns you pretend not to see. As I stared at the Lego box, I realized something I had avoided for years. My parents did not mean to hurt, but they also did not try to understand. They gave gifts that spoke louder than words. Gifts that said, "You should be more, you should be different." The next morning, The next morning, my son tried to open the Lego box. He spread the pieces across the table. There were so many, too many. He tried to follow the instructions. His hands shook. After 10 minutes, he stopped. "Can you help me?" he asked. I sat beside him. We tried together. It was still hard, the quiet defeat. After a while, he pushed the pieces away. "I think I'm bad at this," he said. "No," I said softly. "This is just hard." But he did not hear that part. He only heard what the gift told him, a mother's choice. That night, after he fell asleep, I packed the Lego set back into the box. I did not throw it away. I did not return it. I placed it in the closet, and I sat on the floor and cried quietly. Not for the toy, for the pattern, the phone call. 2 days later, my mother called. "Did he like the gift?" she asked. "Yes," I said. A pause. "Is he building it?" "Not yet," I said. "Well," she replied, "he should challenge himself more." The words were calm, but they cut. I did not argue. I never did. I simply said, "He is doing just fine." She hummed, non-committal. A line inside me shifted. After that call, something inside me changed. Quietly, I realized I had spent my whole life trying to earn approval. That was never freely given. And now, my son was starting that same journey. I could not allow that, the beginning of silent revenge. I did not confront them. I did not raise my voice. I did something quieter. I stopped explaining. Small changes. I stopped sending updates, stopped asking for advice. I answered calls politely, but briefly. I stopped placing my worth in their reactions, and slowly, something powerful happened. They noticed their confusion. My mother asked, "Is something wrong?" I smiled through the phone. "No," I said, "everything is peaceful." Because it was, for the first time, what they did not see. They did not see my son thriving in his own way, drawing, reading, building confidence slowly. They did not see me protecting him. They only felt distance, and distance can feel like punishment. To people used to control, that Lego box stayed in the closet, waiting, not for my son, but for the moment my parents would finally realize that love is not a test, and that silence, when chosen, can be the strongest response of all. The Lego box stayed in the closet for weeks, not hidden in anger, not buried in shame. It was simply resting. Every time I opened that door to grab a coat or shoes, I saw it sitting there, quiet and patient, and every time I reminded myself, not everything needs to be proven. Some things just need to be protected. My son moved on. Children are wise in ways we forget. My son did not ask about the Lego set again. He did not complain. He did not sulk. He found other joys. He spent afternoons drawing stories about space. He built simple things with blocks he already had. He laughed more freely again, and slowly the doubt that gift planted began to loosen its grip. A question that healed me. One night as I tucked him into bed, he asked me something unexpected. "Mom," he said, "do you think everyone is good at different things?" "Yes," I answered. "Absolutely." He smiled. "Good," he said, "because I think I'm good at being kind." My throat tightened. That was the moment I knew. I had done the right thing. The distance grew. Weeks turned into months. My parents noticed the change. They asked fewer questions, then more. "Why don't you call anymore?" my mother asked one afternoon. "I've just been busy," I said gently. It was true. I was busy being present, busy choosing peace, their unfamiliar feeling. They were not angry. They were unsettled. People who are used to being centered feel lost when the attention shifts. They did not know how to reach me. Without control, and I did not offer a bridge, the family dinner. Then came the invitation, a family dinner, Sunday evening. "Everyone will be there," my mother said. Her voice careful, almost hopeful. I agreed, not because I owed them, but because I was no longer afraid. The same table, a different me. The table was set the same way as always, the same plates, the same chairs. But I was different. I did not brace myself. I did not rehearse responses. I simply arrived, my son's confidence. My son sat beside me, relaxed, calm. My parents watched him closely. "He's gotten taller," my father said. "Yes," I replied. "He seems confident," my mother added. I smiled. "He is," the unspoken topic. No one mentioned the Lego set, but it hovered there, between the plates, between the pauses. Finally, my mother spoke. "We wanted to help him grow," she said carefully. "We thought the gift would encourage him." I looked at her, and for the first time I did not rush to protect her feelings, the truth gently spoken. "I know," I said, "but encouragement feels different to different people." Silence followed. "He's already growing," I added, in his own way. My mother nodded slowly. She did not argue. That was new, a shift in power. There was no apology, no dramatic realization, just something quieter, respect, because I was no longer asking to be understood. I was stating what was, and people listened differently. "When you stop pleading." After dinner. As we stood to leave, my father pulled me aside. "You've changed," he said. I smiled softly. "Yes," I replied, "I have." He did not know what else to say, and that was enough. The ride home. On the drive home, my son hummed quietly. "Did you have fun?" I asked. "Yes," he said. Then, after a pause, "Thanks for always being on my side." I reached for his hand. "Always," I said, "the Lego box returns." That night, I opened the closet. I took the Lego box out, not to give it back, not to force it, but to let it go. I donated it the next day. To a school that needed supplies. Someone else would love it. Someone ready. The real revenge. That was my revenge. Not confrontation, not bitterness, but breaking the pattern. My parents never gave another gift like that. They became more careful, more thoughtful. Distance taught them. What words never could, what I learned. I learned that revenge does not need noise. It does not need cruelty. Sometimes it is simply choosing yourself, choosing your child, choosing peace, and letting silence speak. To those who never listened before, if you are listening to this, and recognizing your own family, I want you to know something. You do not owe anyone your emotional labor. You do not need permission to protect your heart. Quiet strength is still strength, soft moral. The most powerful revenge is raising children who never doubt their worth. If this story touched something in you, please like this video. Tell us in the comments. Have you ever chosen silence instead of confrontation? And if you want more real stories like this, full of quiet strength and honest emotion, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for listening, and remember, peace is never weakness.